Good morning, Year 3s. Today I'm going to do a short video for you about what our lesson is about today, and I'm going to go through what our text type is today and show you what the lesson is that we would have been doing if we'd been in class. So today we're going to be looking at the features of a biography. So a biography is a text that we are going to be writing over the rest of this week, and we're going to be carrying on with it next week as well. We are going to be writing a biography. Now we're going to be focusing on famous inventors. So yesterday we looked at some of the famous inventions over time and looked at the people who invented those things and why they're really important. So what we're going to be looking at over the next 2 weeks is we are going to be looking at some famous inventors and their lives, and we're going to be writing a biography. So just to start off with, if you can just think back to yesterday, see if you can remember some of the inventors that we talked about yesterday and what they invented. If you can remember any of those, add them as a comment underneath this post. See if you can remember any. So our text type for these 2 weeks is a biography. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk through what a biography is with you. I'll read through this and then I'll talk through it and make sure that you understand what it means. So a biography gives facts about a person's life. It is not written by the subject of a book, but by an author who has done their research and knows a great deal about that person. So a biography is about a person, but it's not written by that person. So I wouldn't write a biography about myself. It's written by somebody who's had done lots and lots of research and has found out lots of information about that person. So we are going to be finding out lots and lots of information about some inventors, and we are going to be writing a biography about them. So biographies are written in third person, and they can be written about somebody who is no longer alive. So it can be somebody who's alive or somebody who has died. So a biography is a life story written in chronological order. So chronological order means in order of their life. So from when they were born up to when they die. So it's in time order, in the order that it happens. It can include information about when the subject was born, their childhood, important events in their lives, including information about what they did or achieved. If that person is no longer alive, it may include information about when and how they died. A biography may also include direct quotes from the subject or quotes from others about the subject. So what we do next when we're looking at a specific text type that we're doing, we look at a waggle. Now a waggle is what a good one looks like. So it's an example of the text type that we're looking at, and it's a really good example that we can look at and we can use to help us with our writing. So I've written a waggle for Alexander Graham Bell, who was a really famous inventor. We did talk about him yesterday. I wonder if any of you can remember what he invented. We're going to have a little look at a waggle, so a biography of Alexander Graham Bell, and then we're going to have a look at some of the features. So I've attached the waggle document it'll be in your portfolio, but also attached to this document. I'll just bring it up on here a little bit bigger. I'll come closer to it. So this is the waggle of Alexander Graham Bell, and as you can see, it starts with an introduction. Who was Alexander Graham Bell? And then it goes on to his early life, which is all to do with where he was born and his family. Then his early career, so as he gets a little bit older and he starts to invent things, it's about his first inventions. Then the next paragraph is his famous invention, so what is it that he invented? And then finally, the final paragraph is his legacy. So it's what he's remembered for, why he's so important. So this is our waggle. This is what we're going to be writing something very similar to this, but we are going to be writing it about a different inventor. So what we're going to talk about just for a few moments is we are going to have a little look at our rainbow box planning. Now you will have seen this before. This is what we do when we're looking at a text. The first thing that we look at is the purpose and audience. Now I haven't written anything in there because I want us to have a little think about that. So what is the purpose of a biography? Now, the reason why we write biography is to give information, is to tell people about an important person, okay? So we wouldn't really write a biography. You wouldn't read a biography about someone who hasn't done anything important, but it's about somebody who's got important events in their life. So the purpose of it is to tell other people about the life of an important person. So we're informing them. We're informing them and giving them information about that person. Now, the next bit that we have a look at is this bit here. So this bit is what does your text need to be? What effect are we trying to have on the audience? So it needs to be interesting. It needs to interest them. It needs to be factual. We don't want to be making things up because we're trying to inform them. It needs to be in time order. It needs to be clear. And it doesn't have it on there, but it needs to be informative. It needs to give information. Now, the next bit we do is we look at the features. Now, that's this bit here. Now, there are lots and lots of features of a biography, but the ones that we're going to focus on are these ones that are on here. So the first thing is paragraphs. When we looked at our waggle, you'll remember that it was in 4 paragraphs. There were 4 sections. It was split up, and that's really important when we're writing biographies, that you have separate sections. So it has paragraphs. And we'll be talking more about paragraphs in school tomorrow. Then we've got time connectives or time conjunctions. We've talked a lot about that when we were doing instructions. So they say when the things happen. So first, this happened to this person. Next, this happened to him. When he was a child, this happened. And they go at the beginning of your sentence and they tell us when it happened. Then we have coordinating conjunctions. So these are our conjunctions that go in the middle of our sentences, like our and but. They're coordinating conjunctions. And then we have our subordinating conjunctions, which we've talked about. So what I would like there's 2 tasks for you to do today. The first one is I would like you to have a little look through the waggle, which is attached. And I would like you to underline some different features. So the ones that we are going to be focusing are on these top 3. So I would like you to find any time connectives that you can see. And I would like you to underline them in green. I'd like you to look for our subordinating conjunctions. So that's these ones here. So we've got although, because, before, if, since, and when. And I'd like you to underline those ones. And then I'd also like you to look for any coordinating conjunctions. So we've got and, but, or. That's what I would like you to focus on. The second activity I'd like you to do today is I would like you to have a go at writing a small biographical fact file about somebody. Now, you have a little template that looks like this, writing frame that looks like this. Now, it might be that you might want to write this about somebody you know, a friend, a member of your family, or you might want to do it about your favourite famous person. Okay, so we've got some different headings there. Their name, their age, their family members, where do they live, and then some significant events about their life. And you may have to do a little bit of research about this if it's for a famous person. But if it's about somebody who lives in your house or one of your friends, then you can ask them these facts. And all I'd like you to do today, you don't need to write this in big, long paragraphs. You can just do it as a fact file. So name, and then just write their name. Age, and you just write their age. Doesn't need to be done in full sentences. It's just getting the idea of what a fact file might look like. I'm looking forward to seeing the work that you do today.